Have you ever wondered where the quadratic formula comes from? So bear with me for just a second and I want to show you. So the standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Agreed? So if that's my standard form, what we're going to do is we're going to complete the square using the standard form of a quadratic. So remember, the first step in completing the square is moving my c term to the other side. So I'm going to subtract c from both sides. So then I have ax squared plus bx, leave a space because we're about to complete the square, equals negative c. Don't forget that you also have to divide by the a term, all parts. So now I'm left with x squared plus bx over a equals negative c over a. Then I have to take my middle term, which in this case is b over a, half it, and square it. So I will take b over a, and when I half it, that puts a 2 in the bottom as well, and then square it. So that gives me b over 2a squared. Now, I'm just going to add it exactly like it is without working it out on that side, and then I can go ahead and work it out on this side. B squared over 4a squared, because it's b times b and 2a times 2a, which is 4a squared. The reason I left this way is so that we can more easily factor this into x plus b over 2a. Because remember, when we factor a perfect square trinomial, the square root of this term is the number that goes into both of the binomials. So, for example, if this was x squared plus 6x plus 9, if I were factoring that, the square root of 9 is 3, so that would give me x plus 3 squared. So then I'm back down here. I have this right here. I can combine these, but I would need a common denominator. So right now I have a and 4a squared. Well, I can make a into 4a squared if I multiply it by 4a. However, if I do that on the bottom, I also have to do that on the top. So then I'm left with negative 4ac over 4a squared plus b squared over 4a squared. Now I can combine those. So I have x plus b over 2a squared equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Now it may start to look a little bit familiar as this is my discriminant now. So then I take the square root of both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus. And I'm left with x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus. Now remember, square root. I could have the square root of the top, b squared minus 4ac, over the square root of the bottom, 4a squared. So then I'm left with x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This should be looking very familiar right now. So then I subtract b over 2a and subtract b over 2a, and I already have a common denominator. So I could simply move this negative b in front, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now I have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we've just completed the square and proven the quadratic formula. So now you know. That's where the quadratic formula comes from. If you have any questions or comments, post them below.